It's interesting to see that ADHD was actually historically first described in the 1700s by a German physician. And over the last 30 years, we've found that there is actually a change in their brain when it looks from the MRI's point of view.
When your child is diagnosed with ADHD or anything for that matter, it can feel really big for parents. I imagine that you've probably got a lot of worries as well. And one of those concerns may be around school.
So ADHD has 3 types: inattentive ADHD, hyperactive ADHD, which is the stereotypical hyperactive boy that you see, and then combined type ADHD where you have both inattentive and hyperactive ADHD.
Trust your gut. If you think something's not right, ask the question. If you're not 100% sold on the answer, just ask someone else.
Through my experience and research also suggests that females present quite differently to males when it comes to ADHD. Hyperactivity in females tends to be excessive talking, subtle fidgeting, restlessness, risk-taking behaviours. It can look like internal thoughts that are racing.
So there's mainly 2 groups of medication: stimulant medication and non-stimulant medication. Both types of medication increases brain functionality by increasing dopamine and noradrenaline in the brain. Medication is not essential for treatment of ADHD. In some children, the impairment of ADHD is significant, that just environmental changes, behavioral therapy is not enough. And medication then comes into the picture of treating ADHD. One of the commonest questions I get from parents: would it sedate my child?
Lifestyle factors are just so important when it comes to the treatment of children with ADHD. In every child I see, it's just so important to go over diet, exercise, screens and sleep.
The problem is that for every hour that a child with ADHD is spending on a screen, as soon as they stop using that screen, everything seems super slow and boring. They just want to go back into that world, into that virtual world, because it's a form of self-medication.
I think at the end of the day, you have to become a really big advocate, and that can be tricky because you're up against brick walls. It can feel isolating and it can feel like you're being that parent, but what you're trying to do is do what's right for your kid.
It talks about things that they might find tricky, and it also provides strategies that the child themselves find helpful in managing tricky situations.
Disability, ADHD or anything that they have does not make them any less.
With patience, structure and understanding, you can help your child thrive in a world that's not always designed for their unique and beautiful brain.
Watching them thrive as they are now gives me a lot of hope. I also think the world is changing to be more supportive and aware of neurodiversity. I think that my son's found some really good friendships and has been able to develop the skills to do that. That's not something I thought I'd see. So it gives me hope that if he can do that, he can keep growing in other ways.